that there's a lot of grooming in the gay world. You start to wonder, like, I don't know. I mean, this is going to be a really hateful comment. There's going to be a lot of bigotry going on here in a second. But, like, I don't know if we're exactly clear on how many gay people are born gay. Like, are there really gay babies? Or is it kind of weird, just the huge number of gay people that do have some sexual trauma in their past, that have grooming in the backstory of their gay awakening? How many of these gay people would have been gay if they'd never had that one gay relationship when they were a young teenager that awoke them to their gayness? I don't know the truth one way or another, but I do know there's this really interesting quote down in here. I believe that this is attributed to another one of their anonymous sources, because they're all anonymous sources in this article. But they point out something kind of important and controversial when you really read into it. Quote, one of the key things to realize is that gays are different than straights in many different ways, says a longtime gay venture capitalist. Gays are cross-generational. Whilst straight people tend to spend more time with people their own age, that is not true with gay men. I can hang out with someone at an event who is 18 years old, and Peter Thiel might also be there. And that's a nice way of saying there's a lot of grooming in the gay community. There's a lot of older gay men grooming younger boys into the lifestyle. He put the age 18, but bro, that is specifically the legal limit. Specifically, I can't help but wonder if it's always 18 and up at all of these parties, at all of these quiet little gatherings. The article does describe how in Silicon Valley, there's a gay party for everything. There's an exclusively gay network. You're only invited to the parties if you're gay. There's no women present. You can read it for yourself. I don't want to go through all the details. It's mostly just hearsay, but it all checks out. And it all centers pretty much around Peter Thiel and his homies, his boys. But others are mentioned, obviously, like Sam Altman is mentioned. A bunch of them are mentioned. And when you couple that with the Dialogue Society, it kind of gets you wondering. And listen, just to clarify one more time, I'm sure I'll get a lot of hate for those comments about gay people. I don't hate gay people. The difficult conversation to have sometimes is that it's not, strictly speaking, natural. It's not the evolutionary path that humans are intended to take, because y'all don't make babies. Okay? Let's just be clear. Y'all don't make babies. And so if we all are gay, the human race ends. Right? And so, personally, I've just always had a bit of a problem with people that live these sort of like deeply alternative lifestyles. It's way more obvious with trans people that advocate for more of that. All good that you're gay, bro. Don't care. That's cool. You're just a person. Be a good person. You're good with me. But like, it's kind of weird when we start advocating for more gay people. It's kind of weird when we start advocating. It's super weird. It's actually fucking criminal, in my opinion, when we start advocating for more trans people. Because by your own admission, trans is a very hard lifestyle. It's very hard on you. There's a reason why trans people have the highest suicide rate. You can argue about why that is, but it's not an easy life, right? And I'm not saying this to hate on trans people specifically, although I find the militant ones to be abhorrent. But it's oxymoronic to be that way and to have and this is obviously, I'm talking about trans people, not gay people. But it's a little oxymoronic, a little hypocritical to talk about how it's so hard to be trans that I need to cut off my genitals to fix my life. And then to, in the same event, breath, speech, whatever you're doing, to say, let's have more trans people. It's good to be trans. Doesn't square. It's not good to be trans. If you are trans, get on with your life, be a good person, do your best, try to be happy, and just chill. Just chill, bro. Just chill. Just fit in and do your best and be a good person. But don't advocate for kids to become trans, you goddamn asshole. That's evil. And I can't help but feel a little bit of that in the gay community as well. And in this kind of gay tech mafia grooming culture thing. Of like, you're much more likely to get into Silicon Valley if you're gay. You're much more likely to get into these secret societies if you have sexual proclivities that go along with it. And I think probably, just my outside view, some of those cultures and societies group up around gayness. Some of them group up around pedophilia and what Epstein was into. Some of them group up around other blackmailable traits. And some of them just group up around being a piece of shits that are power hungry. Dialogue Society seems to have a little bit of all of it. Can't really tell what it is. All we have is these few leaks, these lists of names, and some pretty sketchy subtext kind of written in below. But for now, I'm sure it's all good that Peter Thiel and Palantir are building out the surveillance state that's going to rule the world, that they're having a secret society meeting with all the most important, powerful people in government, finance, tech, media, etc. Not telling you about it. I'm sure it's all good that Joe Lonsdale, frequent flyer to these secret society meetings here, is also out on Twitter doxing 19-year-olds for saying anything bad about Jewish people. Yeah, this is the club. This is the deep state. And perhaps lastly, let me see if I've got it open here. This is one of my biggest, most robust canvases I've ever built. Way back to the old school, to the TikTok era. This is my research canvas about the various globalist organizations, think tanks, that quietly run the world, that dictate the policies, the directions, the money flows of our world. The Council on Foreign Relations, stretching back possibly the furthest, straight back to Mr. Paul Warburg, key architect of the Federal Reserve, currently chaired by David Rubenstein, although this might be a year or two out of date at this point. Whole section on the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, whose ex-CIA director was a buddy with Epstein, got his job here through Epstein. I've got a whole big section on the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab, sort of the most high profile of them all, and all the giant corporations that pay into these moneyed networks. There's a couple different types of these secret societies, and these aren't secret societies. These are think tanks that are, public facing, but have these subtle undertones when you start to put the pieces together, that you have the entire corporatocracy buying in, the whole BlackRock network of the world. They buy in, they pay membership dues to the tunes of hundreds of thousands of dollars. That money goes into these events, these think tank type summits, where they come together and basically dictate policy for the world. They create documentation and studies and policy papers and whatever's needed to sort of push the world in the direction that all of this money wants in a global fashion. So it essentially has become a set of rails by which government runs that is written and dictated by the corporatocracy and the oligarchy, and government becomes more and more just a facade for us to bread and circus at more and more every year. And the think tanks are more forwards facing, and it's easier to kind of demonstrate and research and learn about all of that. But the think tanks are composed of all the same people that make up the secret societies, all the same people that are flying to these secret gatherings. Many of the people that are going to places like the island wind up all in these same lists at these same think tanks at these same conferences. It's a big club, and you're not in it. But if you wanted to get in, you might try moving to San Francisco and lubing up, because word on the street is that that's not a bad way to get in with this globalized tech mafia that seems to be getting awfully cozy with the White House, Congress, and the entire political establishment in D.C. So there's that for you to sleep on tonight. Hope that helps. Hope that makes you nice and excited about the state of the world. Peter Thiel, I'm just so glad that you're such a great guy, leading us in just a really wonderful direction towards peace, happiness, digital mass surveillance, and bombing children in the Middle East. And yeah, the digital gulag is going to be pretty gay. That's all we got for you for today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, do all those things. Big help. And I will see you in the next one.
There's so much evidence out there, less than 1% is true. That would be enough to collapse the current paradigm, change the whole planet.
What? Pull over again? For what?
Did you run a stop sign?
I mean, it's up to you to see. I played the dash cam footage in the video. So, from my point of view, it looks like we stopped for at least like 2 seconds. We made sure to follow every law.
How's it going? How's it going? I'm Officer Austin from American Force Police Program. How you doing? Good, how are you? Good. What's your name? Ethan.
A spark from the night, a silent call.
The world is all